I started creating more time for myself to exercise, more time for myself to generate more income, more resources for the mastermind. I created an idea of Pawn Leaders 100. I created with the podcast. I created the Facebook group. I just kept on creating so that I couldn't complain. If you're still running your business the same way that you were running it before COVID-19 hit, you're making a very, very big mistake. If you're running your business and you're still thinking like, I just don't have time, I'm so busy, I can't get to do everything, you're just complaining. How can you create a more streamlined business? How can you create a more powerful pawn shop? How can you create a better culture and team? How can you create better marketing? How can you create a better strategy so that you don't go through what you went through before? And I want to tell you guys a quick story. When my wife was in bed for 7 months, when she was pregnant with our second daughter, Yigal, I could have complained a lot. I could have said like, well, my wife's not around and it's just too much. I'm taking care of my daughter and I'm taking her to school and I still have to work and I still have to create and I've got to cook and I've got to do this, I've got to do all that type of stuff. Or I flipped the switches, which is what I did, and I started creating. I started creating more time for myself to exercise, more time for myself to generate more income, more resources for the mastermind. I created an idea of Pawn Leaders 100. I created with the podcast. I created the Facebook group. I just kept on creating so that I couldn't complain. Because complaining does you no good, especially when you're in the role as a leader. Complaining does you no good, especially when you are a parent, a spouse. Because all you're doing when you're complaining, you're just giving off that negative energy to other people, and what happens is that they get negative too. So if you walk into your store and you're complaining, you're giving off that negative energy to your staff and your team, and it gives them permission to complain all the time. We have to lead, and part of that leadership is creating and not complaining.